Hello friends, this video is all about logs on the trail. I kind of made this one for riders who are already comfortable with wheeling and attempting to cross logs like this, because I haven't gone into great detail about each and every step of the maneuvers, but I think it'll be helpful information for beginner riders as well. Alright, so first things first, it's not all about throttle. It's all about control and being able to get over the obstacle without a ton of forward momentum. I'm using my suspension to help give me traction and to create stored energy to help pop the front end up with very little throttle. If you're not familiar with this concept, check out my most recent wheelie tutorial. So the goal here is to come in nice and slowly and wheelie over the log with full control. Careful not to gas it too much as the rear wheel goes over because you could slide out. This is especially important when we have obstacles one after another like in this situation. So there were two minor issues here. You can see that I was a little bit too heavy on the throttle because I had some wheel spin on the first wheelie. And my next issue was staying on the throttle a bit too long on the second log crossing, which caused my tire to spin and slide out. The trick is to give it a nice little blip of power before the tire hits the log, just enough to drive the wheel up onto the log without having to gas it while it's on the log. If you watch my rear tire on this attempt, you'll see it was much better. No wheel spin, and I was off the throttle in time to not spin on the log. When it's all done right, it makes this stuff out on the trail easier because you're in full control. Especially in a situation like this. These two logs are close together and there's no real room for error. You can't be powering over the first one out of control. Now, a downhill pivot over a large log can be pretty intimidating. You can make it easier on yourself by compressing the forks and pulling up as you give it a small blip of throttle. This attempt worked out, but it could have been a little bit better. I could have used less throttle and had no wheel spin. You can tell by the little bit of roost, but also by the sound of the bike. Now listen to this one. Much better. For something like this, you can start by riding up to the log and stopping with one foot on the log to get your bearings. It's basically a simple pivot over, but even easier because you don't have to turn a whole 90 degrees. With practice, you can get it to where you do it in one fluid motion without even planting a foot. Here, I'm compressing my suspension and then using my body weight to kind of pull the bike in the right direction as the suspension releases. I figured I'd throw in an example of way too much throttle just for good measure. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like what I'm doing, please tell your friends about my channel. And I also have a supporters page for anyone who's wanting to see extra videos. Thanks for watching.